Go for it.
All right. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another session of our Life Talks. My name is Marketa and I'm happy to see you all joining here. Some of you may remember me from last week. We had our first session on the Life Talks. And again, we are very happy having you here again this week. So before we start our session for today, I will just watch quickly for all the attendees' name coming in and welcoming them. I see we have Sunny with us, Sumit, Arti, Abdul, Aboli, Achal, Aditi. Again, I'm starting just like last week from all those alphabetically. So those with A get obviously priority. But scrolling down, I see we have Hirvi, Himanshu, Jain, Janvi. Welcome everybody. Korat, Mayur, Monish, Naveen, Neha. Welcome everybody. So nice having you again. This week, we will be speaking about the expectations effect and why mindsets are important. So I will be just seeing the chat window and saying hi to everyone, just to get a few more of you joining. Hello, Gaurav. Hello, Redmi. Hello, Tanai, Monish, Vedika, Venkatesh. Nice to meet you. Tanai, Ikwap. Sorry, Shailesh. Then we have Dhruv, Nikhil, Suraj, Rashi, Nikita, Tanai. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being with us. We are so happy to have you. I will now just quickly share my screen just so that you see what is it that we will be covering today on another session of Life Talks. So please use the chat window, share with us, where are you connecting from? Do you remember why are you here today? Have you been with us last week? Is this your second session? Is this your first session? Let us know. Also, let us know which city are you connecting from. Today, we are, I'm also again connecting from London, but today I will be a moderator. Last week I was the guest speaker. Today I'm the moderator. We will have a guest speaker who I will introduce very shortly. He has been born in Calcutta, but he lives for the past, I think, 15, 20 years in London. He will tell you himself. So I will introduce him very briefly. And in the meantime, let us know, where are you connecting from, which city, how are you today? And again, we are so happy you are here with us. So let me again see who do we have in the chat window, and we will very shortly jump into our today's topic. So we have Neha also with us. Oh, I see Shailesh already joined one session. Awesome. And Vanraj is from Ahmedabad. Hi, Vanraj. I've been in Ahmedabad about a month ago. So pretty cool place. I hope next time we meet, maybe in London. I see Harshal is the first session. He's from Gujarat. Trishi is from Nagpur. We also have a colleague in Nagpur, and Bhavin also from Ahmedabad. Sanjay, Rohit, hi. Sailesh, Ahmedabad. Okay, there are some big crew from Ahmedabad. And we have Gujarat, and we have Piyush, we have Vipul. First session. Oh, okay. All right, great. So let's go. Let's go ahead for today's topic. So today's topic, the expectations effect. Why are mindsets important? So I wonder whether you've been, what have you been expecting about this session today? Is this going to be some motivational sort of talk, or is it going to be some science? Is it, what is it going to be? I wonder, what do you expect today from the session? But as I said, today I'm just a moderator. So we will have a guest. His name is Supriyo Chaudhuri. And he has been working in higher education for the past 25 years. And everybody likes to hear all the big brands that he has been working with. It was either IBM, it was Oracle, it was Apple, it was many big brands that he has collaborated with to develop different learning programs, different opportunities for learners, how to upgrade themselves, how to improve themselves in the career, for the job market, but also for life, I believe. So we will hear from him very, very shortly, and he will take you through what does it mean, what is this whole topic about, what is it part of. So Supriyo, welcome. If you would introduce us, who you are, where you are from, connecting, and what is it that this topic will be about today.
Oh, hi. Thanks, Marketa. Great to be here. Yeah, I was born in Calcutta, but not lived there for about 25 years. I wanted to see the world, so I came around and kind of somehow ended up in London and stayed here. And worked in higher education all my life. So great to see here, all of you joining. So today's topic is about expectation effect. And I'll probably give you a slight background on how we arrived at this. So as Marketa mentioned, I've been developing learning programs with large corporations at different levels. And part of that was developing programs for their entry-level hires. So people who are kind of joining first time. And to be honest, I think around 2015 or so, I started hearing from Microsoft and TCS and others that one of the key things they are looking for in a new employee is growth mindset, that word. And so growth, and obviously that set me off in this quest, which I'm going to talk about today. So growth mindset is the way you see the world. And as Marketa asked me to explain, so I'll explain. So this comes from some work in psychology, which says people can have two different mindsets. So it's either fixed mindset or growth mindset. And that is shaped by our childhood experiences, how we grow up. Some people grow up in households where they are kind of told that you are smart or you are not smart. And they believe that they're very smart, so they can do stuff, and they probably top the class all the time and stuff like that. So that's fixed mindset. They know that intelligence is a fixed quantity that resides in your head. Other people grow up in households where they are told that, it doesn't matter if you can't do it today, but if you try, you can do anything. And they kind of grow up, they may or may not top the class, but they are always striving and trying to learn new things and stuff like that. So that's growth mindset. Now, fixed mindset are most people we know, the smart ones, right? The only problem that fixed mindset people face when things change, when things become too difficult. And they find it difficult because they have always thought that intelligence is a fixed quantity. They become frustrated with difficulty. And they do not do as well as the people with growth mindset does, because growth mindset people will keep trying even when they face difficulty. And that's why companies are looking for those people who will kind of, even if things change, they would adapt. So that's growth mindset. So I'll stop here.
Oh, thank you so much, Supriyo. I love that you've told us why is it important, why this concept growth mindset. You have mentioned some big brands. Lots of our learners, they aspire to work for big companies, but I'm sure we have lots of entrepreneurs here as well. And last week we even have beauticians. So we have people from all across career aspirations, from all different backgrounds. So I believe, if I understood you correctly, that growth mindset doesn't matter what you do, you can apply that anywhere in life or in work. But what is interesting from us, because we are career sessions, right? We focus on our careers. What is important for us, that even the big employers, even the big names, they paying attention to these concepts. And growth mindset is nothing just, as I said, some lame term. It's actually backed by psychology. I believe we also refer to author Carol Dweck, a psychologist who has done a lot of research in that area. And I always tell our students, Google it, check Carol Dweck, check her book, check her work, and we will move on from here to the expectations effect. But I just want to always emphasize here that the students, that whatever we do, we always back it up first in some research and literature. So thank you, Supriyo. And just to make sure that our guests have already a little bit of idea about growth mindset is, I would ask one of our colleagues to pull up this poll. This poll is called Growth Mindset, and we put there 5 statements. If you could just vote which of those statements represent a growth mindset. So Supriyo has mentioned something, it seems like, Anindita, if you can pull the poll, please. It seems like growth mindset is a way for us to, no, it's not this one. It's not this poll, it's the one that says growth mindset. Not not this one. Yeah, so what I understood from Supriyo is that is the way how we deal. There needs to be another poll. Okay, 1 second. Thank you. Yes. So now you can start voting. There is a multiple question options. Which of the statements mean that you have a growth mindset? So for example, if you think that your intelligence can be developed, do you think it's a growth mindset? When you think you will be avoiding challenges because it will make you uncomfortable, do you think it's a growth mindset? What do you think about giving up easily? I just will give up. This is no point of doing things. What do you think? Is that a growth mindset? What about believing that you can become a master of something? Is that fixed mindset or growth mindset? What about facing criticism? I know it can be very hard. I'm myself not very good at accepting criticism, but there is always a little bit of truth sometimes that we may consider as something that could help us become better and improve. And then what about when we see others succeed? Are we jealous, or do we actually find it inspiring to help us move forward in life? So please keep voting. And Supriyo, while we have students interacting with our poll, I will quickly have a look if there is any question. And Vanraj, so nice to hear from you, please. And Ritik, also nice to hear from you. I'm not the best in Hindi yet, practicing. So if you ask your questions in English, that would be amazing. And very happy to have you here. And anybody, if you have any questions by now about growth mindset, please do let us know. Otherwise, I will maybe end the poll and show everyone. We have time is running so fast and we have so much to cover. And last week I promised the students we won't do it long, and we did. So let's end the poll for now and share the results. So Supriyo, if you're able to see the results, would you mind commenting a little bit? What do you see there?
It's gone now. I did see the result. Okay, so yeah, so my intelligence can be developed. That's a growth mindset statement, of course. I will avoid challenge. That's not a growth mindset statement, because this is actually exactly about growth mindsets. I cannot give up so easily is a growth mindset statement. You got it right, whoever said that. I can always be, the moment you say, I'll never be master of one, that's not a growth mindset statement, because being criticized can be hard, but also a way to learn. This is exactly the expectation effect. So I'll go and talk about it in a minute. Yes, that's a growth mindset statement. And I find inspiration in the success of others, as well as mine. That's a growth mindset statement too. So congratulations to all who got it right. You probably have the growth mindset already.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Supriyo. So let's just have a quick look into what we were saying here at the beginning in terms of is this then magic or is it science? So we spoke about growth mindset. That's something that, as I mentioned, concept that is backed by research in psychology. Now we speak about expectations, and when I try to understand what this expectations effect is, I heard a word. It's a self-fulfilled prophecy. And I was, okay, so is this going to be some sort of praying, wishful thinking, something magical, or is that something that we can again refer to in terms of some research? So Supriyo, how is it? I know you're the critical thinker, so you will tell us.
So yes, so people have been talking about these kind of self-fulfilling prophecies for thousands of years, right? So this underpins most religion. And it didn't stop then. It kind of, in our time, there's this famous book called The Secret, right? So there is Rhonda Byrne, a lot of people have read it. It's taught in classrooms these days and everything else. So it basically says, okay, so I found the secret of the universe. If you think about something strongly enough, it's a law of attraction, it will happen to you. Right? So those kind of things. So you get a lot of literature like that. Now, there is absolutely no empirical basis of that, right? It's anecdotal. Some places it has happened. So you say, okay, so there are those 5 people who thought about money and they got money. So therefore, money will follow if you think strongly enough about money. Now, that's magic. That's not really kind of backed up by science. However, what's backed up by science, so psychologists have been researching what effect your thinking has on your health, on your performance, on your kind of well-being, all that. And we know that our brains are very powerful tools, which has enormous resources at its disposal, both physical and psychological. It can control the flows of hormone, it can control the flow of information in your body, it can kind of shut down certain things and start certain things and stuff like that. So the more and more we understand about the brain, and we don't understand still a lot, but the more and more we understand about the brain, we understand its power of shaping our reality. You almost see what you want to see. You do what you want to do, that kind of thing. So it's actually about managing your brain's resources. And if we can train ourselves, and this is exactly how we landed up. My work was like, okay, so growth mindset. And initially I'm like, I avoid the self-help section in any bookstore because there is like, what? I don't need to be told by someone else to help myself. But then you start realizing that shaping your mind, and that's not to be found in the self-help bookstore, the power of harnessing the body's resources and your mind's resources is the most important tool you can, or the most important thing you can do in shaping your life. And this is again ancient stuff. So it is yoga and all that kind of stuff is underpinned by that. So can you control yourself? That kind of stuff. But that's science. That's now backed up by psychology. That's backed up by brain science. All of that. So that's why we talk about mindsets.
Thank you so much, Supriyo. Great. Absolutely. Psychology. I hope everybody understood so far. And if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I see Dhruv, Jody, Jigashu, Jadoji, Dhruv, Mohammed, Krishi. I hope they are understanding well, and let us know if you do. Just to also give you a few examples about maybe how can you imagine what is this expectations effect. So I wonder, did it ever happen to you that you were looking in the sky and you saw the clouds, and then you thought you're seeing something, that something looks like a shape of, I don't know, your favorite person. Now I have heard there has been a cloud in the shape of the queen who passed away. So there are people who see other things around us, but then how do you explain that? Is there a way to explain it? And that again comes literally to our brain, to our expectations. So this is when we are just critically assess our assumptions. And critical thinking overall is an extremely important tool to us, because we receive so much information, whether it's from YouTube, whether it's from the news, whether it's from our friends, anywhere. And it's very important that when we make some assumption, even about us, ourselves, that we are critical about the way we ask ourselves, is it the right way to look at it? Is it the right way to understand it? So when you look at the cloud, you think, is that a magic? Or is it because maybe you have created that expectation in your head that you will see that respective shape or that respective thing that is important to you personally? Another example I wanted to share with you to try to help you understand how your brain may have more capacity than you think, again, given just how you set your mind. So you may have heard of Mark Zuckerberg. That Facebook is this social media platform which many of you are no longer using. All of you are on Instagram, but our generation, they're Facebookers. He is quite famous for every morning choosing this very simple outfit. He chooses one t-shirt because he believes he has so many other decisions to make. So he wants to make his life very easy, and he doesn't want to waste time or waste his brain energy on making a decision about what to wear that day. But again, maybe it comes down again to our expectations effect. Maybe he's thinking it will be hard for him to choose what to wear if he will expect that to be hard. Because I believe most of us every day, we don't believe it's so hard to choose what to wear. We don't believe it's such a hard decision. Therefore, it won't be a hard decision for us. So yes, it doesn't mean that there are hard things out there to deal with, but is it also a way, a lot connected to our expectations in terms of what is hard and what is not? So on that note, we have here yet another poll. I want to ask you whether you have heard the word nocebo, and why while we are voting. I see that we have voted already with our unsuccessful launch of the poll, but while we're waiting for that, I again will check the questions in the chat window, and I have actually seen there was a question, Supriyo, in the Q&A, which I really liked, but now I just have to learn how to pull it. So Seema is asking, what basically stops us from growth mindset?
That's a great question. So multiple things. Our childhood experiences, how we grew up, our social expectation, stereotypes we live with, right? So there was this expectation, famous example of expectation effect. Is we know you hear these jokes about women can't read maps. There's a book actually called Why Women Can't Read Maps or something to that effect. Now, there was this experiment done where women and men were asked to do a self-affirming activity first. So an activity to kind of develop your spatial awareness. When I say spatial awareness, it's the awareness of place. So do you understand what is north-south? Do you understand distance and things like that? So they were asked to do that activity, and then they were asked to read maps, right? And once you do that, the women and men had exactly the same result. So there was no reason why the women cannot read maps, just that they thought themselves that they can't read maps, or they're not supposed to read maps properly. right? So we kind of, I think it's that expectation effect which kind of stops you from having that growth mindset. It's like, okay, so men are not good at judging color, let's say, and things like that. Now, I have almost accepted the fact that I don't understand color, and I hope that if I apply myself enough, right, I might be able to do that. And it's not that difficult. And this is exactly what comes in the way of growth mindset. But I'll make one last point, which is growth mindset can be taught. It's not that it's a done thing that you kind of have that and no more. As I said, brain is immensely inventive. It can shape itself, right? And if you try something, it will happen. So if you think that growth, and we can talk about certain tips and how expectation effect can help you shape your reality, but growth mindset can be developed.
Thank you so much. A great question from Seema. I hope we have helped her. And Seema is saying, thank you, sir. You explained it very well. So brilliant. And also we have Daksh asking if yoga can help us in our growth mindset.
Yeah, it can. And that's exactly the same thing, that you are kind of shaping your reality. You are kind of cleansing your mind. Yoga is a activity of cleansing your mind, and that gives you autonomy over your kind of actions. So you start and this is one of the things that we live with, right? So what other people think about us, what can I do it? It's shaped by my destiny and things like that. And yoga allows you to focus inwardly, and actually Buddhist rituals also do. So basically, it allows you to focus inwardly and take control of your mind. And it does, absolutely. And it's backed by science. It's not about kind of religion or anything else. It's backed by science that once you have control over your mind, you can shape your reality.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. And we will shortly go. Ikap and Devyani have more questions, which is brilliant. And Gaurav too. I can't wait to answer those. So we had a quick poll and we were asking what is nocebo? And maybe some of you have heard before the word placebo effect. So placebo, those who haven't heard the word placebo, it's basically a way to experiment or a way to heal perhaps based on you consuming a pill that actually has no effects. It's literally just that shape of a pill, just that colorful thing that you see here on the picture, and you eat it and it has absolutely no side effects, nothing. And scientists use this technique to test how you just thinking about you having that pill, how is it actually helping you, because that pill is expected to help you, or the other way around. So there has been a test run, and that's the nocebo effect, when there are negative expectations. So the scientists run a test giving patients, or giving those they were testing, probably not patients, probably just those they were testing, they gave them pills and they said, okay, you with these pills, they may have a side effect of a headache. And although the people who were actually having the pills, they didn't know that those are absolutely harmless and have no headaches, side effects at all. But it has been proven that just people expecting getting the headaches because of eating this pill that is completely harmless have developed them. So those numbers are quite striking and alarming if you think that how much it can impact you in a negative way. Therefore nocebo if you have a negative expectations about yourself. So if you expect that you will fail, it is more likely that to happen. If you set your mind in that placebo effect and think more positively that you will succeed, again, it's more likely that it will happen. So keep that in mind. And this was just an example how that expectation effect can help you in life. And same, it's very much applied and again tested in science, that they say age is just a number. So if you expect that you will grow old quickly, it is more likely to happen. So be careful what you wish for. That's all I have to say. But again, it's backed by science, it's backed by tests in terms of people who expected to be healthier, therefore started to take those respective steps, started to exercise, and therefore lived longer. So keep note that all those things that we are learning here do apply for real life. And I want to now go back again to questions, because we are here for our learners. So they were asking, Deviani was asking why other people can decrease their growth mindset. Is there like some opposite effect?
It can, if you take them too seriously. So if you kind of remember, people come to conclusions from their own perspective, right? And it's actually, this growth mindset is all about taking control of your own life and shaping that life by your expectations. So as long as you start shaping the life by your own expectations and objective judgments, and stop caring too much about what the other people are telling you. And as I mentioned, stereotypes is one way to kind of keep that expectation down. You are an Indian person, so you do IT, and if you're Pakistani, you drive taxis and all that kind. You kind of, those things shape your reality. So they can decrease growth mindset, and you may accept other people's judgment about you. So we have to be careful about that.
There is a very good question from Iqbal.
Mm-hmm.
Iqbal is saying he wants to become an app developer without knowing computer science. How can he do that?
He cannot, but he can learn computer science. So basically, that's the point. In the sense, you cannot, there are things which has to be done for performing certain tasks. But if you are, let's say, if you are an English lit major, and if you want to learn computer science, you might stop yourself saying, hang on a minute, I'm the English literature major. How can I learn computer science? Growth mindset allows you to overcome that barrier. But you still have to learn computer science to develop an app.
Iqbal, did we help you answer that challenging question, which I absolutely love? So yeah, it's still important, obviously, to understand the subject, but it's more about overcoming that objection if you have a different background and saying, no, why not? I can do that, but I will have to learn a lot. I will have to be very persistent about it and probably overcome a lot of challenges. So thank you for the question. Then Gaurav is asking, does hard work only require to develop mindset?
So it's mindset which defines hard work, right? You kind of, once you can, so there's this example from exercise, right? So when you do exercise, you feel pain because your body is being exerted. Now, if you start, now hard work does that, hard studies does that, all the kind of hard stuff that we do, we face difficulty, we face frustration. And now, your mindset can define it. You can tell yourself that, you know what, I'm feeling pain, but that's really fat burning. My body is becoming better. If you actually set that expectation, you do more exercise, and that's been proven by science. If you start thinking that frustration is a way of learning, every time you're getting frustrated, you are getting frustrated because you're trying harder than you can, you learn more. So we know by shaping our expectations, we can do more hard work. So it's kind of works the other way.
Thank you. And Yasin is laughing to the word nocebo. So Yasin, Google it, please. You will see nocebo and placebo. Google it and you will understand. It's just a way to explain the term. Then Rahul is asking, how can we have a clear mindset if there is some things and our ideas running in our mind? It might be kind of a distraction thing.
Well, that's a question for the yoga teacher, but that's what it is. In the sense, you can, and you could stop your mind. You can go for a walk. A lot of people, it works for me, the walk, right? And frankly, I know some people say that shopping will help your mind, but it doesn't. It actually makes you more distracted, to be honest. You look at all those different stuff and your mind gets very excited. So it's more of those things. You could take control by doing yoga. Doesn't work for me. Meditation, some colleagues do, I don't, but I go for a walk. So you have to find your way.
Awesome, thank you. And then we have another question. Can you please give a real life example of growth mindset from Zoyan?
Oh, so okay. So for example, I gave the example of women learning to read maps. There are examples of people who were carpenters, kind of taught them AI and became the founders of AI in that kind of thing. So it's and my own stuff in life is that I forgot to read books, and someday I stumble upon something and say, okay, fine, you know what? My brain is reconfiguring itself to the web, and I must try reading books. So I tried, and now I read books, right? So there are those real life examples all over, and it's not the big example. There are big examples like Bill Gates doing something, but I wouldn't talk about it. It's basically, I think you can find examples in your own life, really.
Brilliant. Hopefully that answered your question. And I'm also seeing here some funny notes about girls being a distraction, to which I want to say boys can be distractions too. So, but it's and then so there are lots of thoughts about a distraction, focus, failure, all those, and all we are speaking here about is how do we put that in our expectation. So if we set our expectation to achieve something, then how do we shape our mind towards it so that we are more likely to achieve it? Obviously it won't happen without all that boring stuff, like actually reading the book, doing your studies, learning that code, doing all that, as I said, boring stuff. But here we are just to learn how to deal with when, for example, failures occur. So we had that, that's an anonymous question about how to handle failure. And also Sakshi is asking growth hacking in a business. So that's interesting, growth mindset and growing your business sort of connection.
Yeah, so before that, I got distracted by the distraction question. So I'll kind of make a brief comment, right? So the way distractions are everywhere, and it's important. Now, one of the ways, and this is going on for thousands of years, people know to manage distractions, you need to have rituals, right? So you kind of, there were like religious rituals, but forget religious rituals. There are some sort of secular ones, like Sachin Tendulkar putting up, he always put his left pad first. Now, why did he put his left pad? There's no scientific reason, but that's his way of dealing with distractions. So you have to learn deal with distractions, and sort of rituals kind of help you that way. See, failures, there are, so my idea of failures is that you can have above the waterline failure and below the waterline failure. Below the waterline failure, think of a ship. Below the waterline failure, you are sunk, right? So, but most of the failures we face are above the waterline, are small failures which can be repaired. So I'll talk about those failures, not the big ones, right? So these small failures, we normally fail because we try harder than we think we can, right? And in that, expectation effect has a role. So because you are thinking, you tried something and you failed, most cases, those are opportunities to learn. And most cases, it's actually your affirmation that you're trying harder than your comfort zone, right? So I think I would say I have failed a lot of times. Let's kind of, but I kind of make sure that those failures are above the waterline failures rather than below the waterline failures. And I try to learn from each one of them. So that's probably my way of dealing with failure. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will definitely read some comments whether that helped at all, how to handle failure. And to sort of set our mind, our expectations, we have this week another competition. To those who joined only, to those who were not here last week, and I will announce the winner. We had a competition. We were last week asking what was that one thing that you have learned a day. This week we are asking what is the one thing that you want to start changing from today and why. So if you go to our Instagram, Employability Live, you will find there this post that says what is that one thing you want to start changing from today and why. And then from there we will choose another winner. of the best comment. So check us on Instagram and let us know what kind of content you would like to see there going forward. I have a strong suspicion, Supriyo, we have here a lot of tech students as well, lots of engineering students, and they must be thinking like, oh, I just wanted to learn something here about coding, and like, how can I switch to being a programmer to being in cybersecurity? And somehow we are speaking here about growth mindset. And I think this is why it's so important that what Supriyo, you have mentioned at the beginning, that big companies such as Tata Consultancy, IBM, they're talking about these concepts, like how they can make their employees more productive. And maybe you would be surprised, but if you go for an interview one day and you mention some of these, you will definitely catch those employers' attention, because they will be like, okay, there's been some work done on how to become a better developer, maybe in terms of persistency, in terms of addressing challenges, because you can definitely go over a one code's mistake for hours and hours, and you have to be very persistent to get where you need to be. So I just wanted to address that, those techies here, and again, and also acknowledge our winner from last week. That was Divyani. So congratulations, Divyani. She will get a t-shirt from us, a Learner for Life, and she is from the College of Engineering, Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering. So we are looking forward again to have more of you joining next week. And we are also on other social media. And here I want to highlight the LinkedIn and thank all the learners that joined last week and received the certificates for participation, and who shared it on LinkedIn. So as our sessions are career oriented, and of course, I'm happy that you engage with us on Instagram, I really urge you, please make sure all of you start creating your LinkedIn profiles, and I'm not telling you that to create a LinkedIn profile so that, so you follow us. Obviously, it would be good, but it's important for you. So you in your career, to connect with people, to network. This is something we spoke a lot about last week. So remember about your LinkedIn profiles. Those are important for your development in terms of your career, in terms of connecting and networking with others. And also, I just, before we finish the session for today, as much as I would love to continue the session, I want to just remind you, once this webinar stops, there will be a quick 15-30 seconds feedback moment when you will just tell us whether you have learned something and what was it. And also just a reminder that we will also have another session on the 28th of September, and we will be speaking about some tools for growth mindset. What are the tools that you can use? And we will have another fantastic speaker, maybe two of them, that will be connecting from Canada and from Europe as well. So join us for that session. And before I let you go for today, because we've already been together for 40 minutes, let me just thank very much to Supriyo and ask him if he has any last tips or tricks for us.
No, just for the sake of fairness, thank you. But just for the sake of fairness, I know Shakshi asked that question about growth hacking, and I forgot. So I probably missed, and she kind of highlighted that again. So Shakshi, startups are growth mindset cases by themselves. You do startups mostly when you have growth mindset and you can try out something, you are going out of your comfort zone. Now, growth hacking is a different subject, and it's probably for a different session. You should request Marketa and my colleagues that they should do something focused on entrepreneurship, student entrepreneurship, and we'll take that as a feedback. But growth hacking is a completely different subject. It's the growth word is same, but we are talking mindsets here. So I'll pass that question for the moment, but I'll kind of will come back, create a different session for that.
Yes. And as I said, like, I see Mohammed is asking such an interesting, Mohammed Bandarkar, interesting career question about being in design, and we could go forever. Guys, please join us again on the 28th of September. We will continue these discussions about career. We are here for you, mostly. It's just there is lots of you that we try to answer all those questions. So you're also welcome. You can contact me also on LinkedIn. You will find my name there, Marketa Moses, oh, it's hard, but if you want, you will find me. Just go on Employability Live and you will find my name there. And I hope I will be able to answer your questions from there as well. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Supriyo, for that really science-backed up information about growth mindset. And I will be looking forward to meeting everybody again on the 28th. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Take care. Bye.